Welcome to Sharing My Truth with Mel and Susie, the uncensored version, where we bear it all.
We do.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Sharing My Truth Pod. You're here with Mel and Susie. And here's a reminder to give this podcast a 5-star review. Follow us on all of our socials at Sharing My Truth Pod. And go to sharingmytruth.com where you can actually write into us. Tell us your dirty little secrets, your dirty little details of a story you want to share. And we might share it on the pod. You might get featured. How exciting. Very anonymously, though, if you'd like. Anything else, Mel?
I think you've covered it.
Good. Yeah. Hey, babes.
Hello, darling.
How are ya?
I'm fine. Wonderful.
I
Fabulous.
missed you so much. Mel has been on vacay, and it's been really
away.
upsetting because I've just had to like text her all these things that are on my mind instead of speaking to her.
Yes, I've been back in the old country.
Oh God,
Back in the motherland.
And it's been upsetting. It's been upsetting for
has
me.
It?
Yeah, it has.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's been upsetting for me, who's just now a single Pringle.
You are.
And I have to talk to my best friend about things, and you're here.
I know, it's terrible. It's very rude of me.
It is. So I'm happy to be back with you in our little pods, dude.
Mm-hmm.
To you.
It is good.
Does it feel good to be back?
It does.
Or you're like, fuck this place.
No, not at all. I always like coming back to Canada. I always feel it's strange because I was just in England and the whole shit is hitting the fan there. It's really, really bad. And I felt when we landed in Canada, serenity. Because in Canada, really, I mean this in the most positive way, bad things don't really happen in quite the same way they happen in other places. Like, you know, presidents getting shot and riots and shit like that. It's all very kind of, you know, even if you watch the news here, it's like, wow, I love the fact they're talking about, you know, somebody's cat in a tree or whatever.
It's so great.
It's brilliant. It's really good. And so I thought, oh God, this is great. Nothing, it's going to be good.
Yeah.
So I feel very calm. It's a very calming place.
No, I love that. I mean, so I was just in Vancouver too, visiting with my family, and like I sent you these things. Like they have these things all over the place in some of like the smaller towns in BC where you'll go to a little farm. It'll be a little local farm with organic produce. This is how my like family gets their groceries when in the summertime, and there'll be these stands, and they'll have this weird little honor system thing.
Yeah,
you just literally will put cash in this little till thing that's locked, or you just pay on your little credit card, and they just hope that you do it and take your little radishes with you.
I bet most Canadians, I can't imagine any Canadians don't follow
exactly because they respect the system.
Whereas
of nothing.
in the UK, it'd all be gone.
It's crazy.
I mean, nobody would do it, and it's just awful. And I do find Canadians also really, they're so friendly, they're so nice, and that's really nice. It's just really nice.
Yeah.
So I'm always very happy to come back.
Oh, I love that. We're happy to have you.
You know, my kids are here.
Yeah, of course.
And I've had enough. I've come back. Yeah.
Have a drinking. Going sober now too.
Oh yeah, that's the other problem with Europe in the summer.
Yeah,
it's impossible. It's impossible. I wasn't just in England, and it's just impossible.
Yeah.
To be good.
Enjoy yourself.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Yeah. Let your hair down.
Speaking of travel,
yes.
Our little sweet little topic today is about the pressures of having an affair while you're kind of out and about traveling to a new place, not just an affair, but just having sex even with your partner, or just wanting to have like a little summer fling, and like putting that kind of pressure on yourself to find that person.
Yeah. Or if you're in a relationship, actually the pressure, like, oh my God, we're not at work. We're just alone. We're supposed to be doing this. And maybe you don't want to.
No,
I don't know. But I think there's a lot of pressure, and you know, people want different things, but definitely when you're younger, I certainly remember that. You go, you know, you want to meet somebody, you want to have a bit of, or whatever that is. But, you know, you want to party, you want to have fun. And obviously that entails meeting somebody and perhaps maybe just hooking up, but maybe having a fling. And I think vacations may be a little bit measured on, what do you mean nothing happened?
I know, that's the thing, right? It's like you want to enjoy yourself. You want to kind of see the sights. And I think obviously we get these ideas from a lot of like movies and things like that. And just like, you know, oh yeah, I met the love of my life while I was traveling Europe and like whatever the fuck bullshit. And total bullshit. And then we bring this to ourselves and be like, oh my God, I'm going to find the love of my life.
Yeah.
here in this completely foreign place where we might not even speak the same language. And they're going to show me around the city. So you're just like, you're not even having a good time. You're now just trying to follow, like, you're just trying to find someone to kind of make your experience there better. And you're kind of missing the whole point of being in a new culture.
100%. Or having some hot, steamy affair. I think, like, you know, people have this idea you're going to go to Italy and you're going to meet some amazingly attractive man. And he's all going to be vavavoumi and very spicy. And it might not be. And everyone's telling you this, and they're really not doing this. This is all bullshit. It might happen once or whatever.
It is very nice when it happens.
Yeah, and that's very nice. But I think, you know, you can't put that kind of pressure on yourself. If you meet somebody, great. And if it's one night or a couple of days, great. You know, that's a part of life. All these little stories in your life are part of life. But not to put the pressure. But I mean, the other thing is when you're a couple.
Yeah.
And I definitely think, depending on what stage you are, a lot of people, or maybe one person in the couple feels the pressure or thinks, finally, we're going to get down to it.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah. And
you get the honeymoon suite.
And and maybe the other person is thinking, no, I'm just going to sit by the pool. Not interested.
And not fuck your person that you came there with? What's the point?
I think people get very kind of stuck in their thing and kind of bored, you know, men and women. I think they really do. And then you're putting a lot of pressure on this situation to, like, you know, and then what does that mean about your relationship if you're not doing that?
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, if you're older, you're not doing it every 5 minutes. Not that old people don't, you know, I get funny ideas. But, it's obviously going to, and it's not really about being older. It's about what stage you are in your relationship. Obviously, if you've just met, then you're sort of going at it like bunnies. And maybe if you're later on, then not so much. But still, the idea is to be together with your person, to spend the time with them in whatever format that takes. And I think, and I've just read quite a lot of articles, I don't know why, about people feeling the pressure. Maybe the pressure for it to be perfect. Maybe that's the thing. And I think that's the crazy thing. If it's not working at home and maybe you're having some issues, you're not going to suddenly go on vacation, stroke holiday, and it's all going to be fine.
Yeah.
Is it? I mean, that's just by thinking that, you're putting a lot of pressure on that time away. But I mean, it goes back to this thing that I sometimes just don't get it. Like, talk to this person. If you are married to this person or with this person, why would you not talk to them?
Because that's harder than ignoring the problem.
Yeah, because the
like emotionally.
Because you got to face it.
Yeah, exactly.
Because if you talk about it, there's a problem.
Yeah.
If you talk about anything, whether it's finances, whether it's love, whether it's your children, whatever it is, it means that the reality is there's something wrong.
Yeah.
And if you ignore it, there's no problem.
I remember, and this wasn't really a problem. Like, I've never really had this specific problem that we're talking about, like, where it's like you don't really want to hook up while you're, you know, traveling with your partner or your person or just like anyone else you're traveling with, whatever. But like, I do remember this one time where we were in this like gorgeous place. I think we were in like Mexico or something. And we were sitting by the pool, and I remember I like fell asleep to like nap, like just like by the pool and enjoying the sunshine. And when I woke up, like my now ex wasn't there anymore, and I like go back to the room, like, okay, maybe he just like went, and I like didn't have any texts, and I was like, okay, weird. And then I go back to the room, and he's like jerking off in the room.
What?
Yes. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? So like there's stuff like that. He's like, I didn't want to bother you. I'm like, we're here to
be together in all of the things.
And like, I'm not a person who like doesn't understand male masturbation. Okay. Like I very much understand this.
Yeah.
But I'm available. There is no reason that you need to do this.
That's funny.
It was just, I was like, wow, like this is either maybe I don't understand the male form as much as I think I do, or this was a weird thing that happened. And I'm like, why would you not wake me up or just like, you know, wait for me to come back?
I think that's the bit I don't
you know
get. Why would you not wait?
But like, I think this kind of stuff happens a lot with couples, or they're kind of used to jerking off, right? During the day, or like in the day, like morning or whatever, at night, whenever they're trying to do it, and they are on vacation with now their person, and they don't really it's like a habit thing too, right? Where it's like you're in a
100%,
habit of not fucking, right, with your
100%.
person.
That's
and
what
like,
it is.
how do you get out of that habit?
It's the habit of not doing it.
Yeah.
And then it becomes like a confidence issue, and it becomes like difficult to surmount that and suddenly go, well, we're not doing this at home.
Yeah.
And I think what does happen the longer you're in a relationship, the less kind of, and we've talked about this in lots of other episodes, the less spontaneous you think it is. Because I think earlier on in the relationship, we talked about this with various medical professionals, various episodes, is you prepare more, like you're getting ready,
100%.
you're getting ready to go for the date, blah, blah, blah. And the more you get into the relationship, the less you're kind of doing that, very obviously, because you're with them and you're living with them and stuff. So you're not preparing, the excitement, all of that is not there. So it's not that it's not spontaneous, less spontaneous, because it's probably not really spontaneous to begin with, but the sort of sexual energy, whatever it is, that sort of ramps up, and it becomes less and less. And I think that then, because the idea is you kind of have to say, oh, so do you want to, you sort of have to say something.
Well, now you're ready. You're waxed.
Right.
You're tanned.
Yeah.
You feel better about yourself, probably. You've had a little alcohol.
Yeah.
You'd think that it would help the entire situation of being like, okay, like, let's get down and dirty.
Let's get to it.
Because we have a hotel room,
and
which is also the epitome of fucking.
What is that? And also, you don't have to get up to go to work. You don't have the normal issues.
You can sleep in and have a coffee and have room service.
Yeah, and you, particularly if you're away and you have children at home, you're away from that kind of thing that does create issues. Like you're just you. Yeah. You're not all the other distractions of life. So it should be easier. But I think sometimes it creates more pressure and it's less easy.
Well, yeah, like if you're not having sex at home and you think that the vacation is going to save your relationship to have more sex, I feel like it's not the same, but it's almost the same as like, oh, let's have a kid, it's going to save our marriage.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, it's like if it's not working already,
it's not working. Because I think then if you're not talking and one person gets the idea, oh, this is going to be really sexy and we're going to go away and we're going to feel and it's going to awaken
it's
the whatever.
If you can't come at home, you can't come in Mexico.
Very good. Very good. No, but it's
not true.
Yeah, it's not going to do anything. And then if the person isn't interested at home, they're not going to suddenly become interested in you away.
And they might find another person to have an affair with.
There is that, isn't
right?
I mean, that would just be dreadful.
What? Like, of course that would happen, though, and that I'm sure has happened
all the time,
right? Where
like happens all the time.
Someone's taking a nap in the room.
God,
you're off at the pool bar.
Yeah.
Hitting up on the ladies. I don't know.
Well, I guess, maybe your confidence in that sense.
Or maybe the girl's going down there, like, hanging out with the bartender.
Yeah.
There's just a million scenarios.
Well, yeah. You have a few too many drinks.
Especially if you haven't communicated back home
that there's an issue.
You think that this is going to save it.
Yeah, 100%. But I do think it, because it's like the concentration, you're just together, right? Like I said, the rest of the world is not there. And even though you have the world because you have your bloody phone all the time, but you don't have the same like social engagements, work, blah, blah, blah. There's not stuff to distract from the issue.
Yeah.
So you think that somehow you're going to go and it's going to be fine. But I think also the other thing is, let's say you're further down the relationship and this is the whole thing about mismatched libidos, and you're somebody where you're fine with once a week or twice a week or whatever it is, and your partner wants to do it every day, and that's not your jam for whatever reason, and there are a multitude of reasons, you're not suddenly going to go away and this person's saying, oh, they're going to be into it. Well, no, you should probably talk about it.
Yeah.
And then maybe they will be into it.
I know.
But you've got to talk about it.
Well, here's the other thing, right? Where it's like you leave the partner at home and you go on a vacation with your girly friends or whoever, and you cheat on them because it's not working in the home. And then you have affairs when you're traveling. And then but that's also like where you're like, well, at least I'm not getting fucked at home. So I'm going to go get somewhere else.
Yeah. But also then you can leave the guilt. I think that's something.
Yeah, when it happens in Vegas, stays in Vegas.
Yeah, exactly. If you have an affair with somebody who you're never going to see again, well, there you go. You're not going to see them.
It's the perfect crime almost.
It is.
It's the perfect crime until you get an STD.
Yeah, there is that.
I feel like that's a horrible, almost, I feel like it's an inevitable thing to happen for people who
Oh my God,
Fuck.
yeah. And it's funny, like in Europe, like I was in Spain and like in a lot of the holiday places there are like STD clinics everywhere.
Oh my
Because
God.
people get things all the time because they do really stupid things because generally they've had too much to drink or too much sun
Yeah.
and all your normal and you literally do have sex with people without protection and get
And then
a myriad.
it's like a one-night stand. Then
Yeah.
you don't have their number. You
Yeah.
can't contact
Yeah, no,
them.
absolutely.
And then you get pregnant. I'm sorry. I'm just thinking about all the horrible things.
That happens. Of course, that happens. Of course it does. Yeah.
And then you don't have anyone to contact them. You don't know their name. You didn't even
No.
speak the same language.
No.
Now you just have a baby who's half Mexican. Keep going back to
You're still in Mexico, aren't you? Yeah. I mean, it happens all the time.
Right?
It happens all the time.
Yeah.
And it's easy for it to happen.
Yeah.
You're having a fun old time.
Sure.
And your kind of normal inhibitions, I guess is the word, kind of go out the window.
Yeah.
You're wearing less clothes. It's hot. You feel relaxed.
Hot, sexy, alcohol.
Yeah. And you definitely feel, I always feel like if you've got a bit of a tan, you just feel so much less
skinnier,
blubbery. Yeah. Even though you're not physically.
No.
You feel much better because your skin, particularly mine, which is like piglety white.
No.
doesn't look so much better. I mean, everything
It's so funny.
looks better.
Mm-hmm. No, I absolutely
You know,
agree. I'm a different person in the summertime than when I am in the winter when I literally look like a ghost.
Yeah.
It's totally different.
Absolutely.
It's different Susie coming out.
Yeah, and it just is, and it's warm. And then also the way you go through the day is completely different. Because you've got a different sense of time. And especially a lot of like sunny locations, like the days are much longer because it's hot till very late at night. And so that changes everything. And then, you're drinking.
I mean, I remember when I was younger, obviously I was like 18 and it's like literally 10 years ago, which makes me want to cry. But I went on a Euro trip, as a lot of us do, you know, just say fuck it. And I remember being like, I don't know if I was putting the pressure on myself to go and fuck whoever I could, because I definitely was sort of doing that. But I was having fun doing it. But I remember, because I just wanted to like have these kind of sexual experiences and maybe not the best ways. Like I remember I was like at Oktoberfest for like one night, and I met this very nice German boy or whatever the fuck he was. Don't even remember, obviously. And he had way too much beer, couldn't even get it up. You know, see, like these are the things I'm like, was this worth it?
No.
Or I could have just had a nice fun time with my girlfriends and not have worried about it so much, or like
100%.
not put that on me.
100%.
You know, and like that makes me annoyed that I like now I'm just like, oh my God, fuck.
But I think that is part of youth, though. And you have to do those stupid things, and you have to kind of have those experiences, and then you realize like that really was a complete waste of time.
But then also, like when I was in Nice, at the same kind of
Very
journey,
nice.
I met the hottest South African guy you ever fucking met. Gorgeous accent, one of my favorite accents.
Is it?
It is. He's just like this gorgeous man, biggest dick.
Biggest dick.
Amazing, incredible. Never knew his name.
Wow.
Never stayed in contact. But I still think about that night, being like, that was a fucking fun time.
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah, he like worked on one of the yachts or whatever the fuck.
But isn't it weird how that happens? That's the thing, actually, I digress, but I find the funniest thing about sex is something that is so intimate. That's so like we'll also get the ick about like if somebody's sweaty, don't come near me, or like toilet seats or whatever. But you'll happily lick a stranger's balls. I mean, it's kind of bizarre if you think about it.
Yes.
It's really weird.
I know.
And you're like, so you don't want to sit on that toilet seat? Or
no,
do that.
I've squatted my way through Europe, man.
Exactly. But you're happily to, entangle yourself with
so funny.
some bits that are probably not necessarily that clean.
For sure. I mean, I do wear condoms every single time I fuck.
That's very impressive.
I know a lot of people do not do that.
Lots of people don't.
Not good, guys. Please wear condoms, especially if you are traveling. You do not want to bring home an STI.
No, but just think about it. I tell you what, when you think you're not going to use a condom, think about that toilet seat.
Oh my God. A lot more things have been on that dick, I'm sure. I'm telling you.
That's the point.
Oy.
We go off track as
Yes,
usual.
we do.
But yes, I just think there is a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
I think it's when you go on vacation / holiday. I've been in England, so I say holiday. And we don't say vacation.
No vacation.
holiday.
Holiday.
The holiday. Going
It's
on
much more Paul.
hollybobs on holes.
Hollybobs.
Or on your holes.
No, not on your holes.
Yeah.
Holes?
On your holes. So as in
Holes.
holiday. Holes.
Holes.
So you can't even say it.
Can't even say it.
But there's a lot of pressure for everything to be perfect. It's the perfect holiday,
Yes.
the perfect time.
Yes.
It's all going to be amazing. And I don't think it's any different from anything in life. And it's no different from, like, we've talked about dating. Like, stop putting so much pressure on this situation.
Mhm.
It may work, it may not.
Yeah.
And just go with it. And if it does, great. If it doesn't, doesn't. And I know that's very easy for me to say, but at my grand old age, I think that is... I think that's the biggest piece of advice I would give anybody who is younger, is that just stop pressuring yourself. Stop pressuring yourself to have the greatest time, to meet the greatest person, to do all these things, and just enjoy the moment, enjoy the time. And if you don't meet somebody or something doesn't happen or whatever in that situation, then maybe it will in the next situation.
Yeah.
I know that's tough, because when you go through a lot of situations and you're just never meeting the person, it wears you down.
Yeah.
And I think particularly women, it wears them down.
Yeah.
It really, they're just like, oh my God, I'm never going to meet anyone. But think of it this way, if you are getting to an age where you're starting to freak out a bit, sort of in your 30s, or a lot of women do, and you suddenly think, I'm going to go on holiday and that's going to answer my... I mean, it's not, is it? I mean, just meeting some random guy.
Yeah.
So you've been dating all these friggin' losers back home, and you're going to go on vacation, and just because he looks a bit...
They're so much hotter because they speak Italian.
Exactly. No, he's probably just as much of a ginormous loser. So just, think of that. But I know that's not easy. But it's the pressure. I do think there's a lot of pressure for everything to be
and
the bikini body.
Oh my God,
like, everything to be like, and you're like...
I think the biggest thing to remember when you're going on holiday and you're kind of hoping to have this kind of affair, it's like, still do what you want and go travel and see all the things that you want to see, because you'll probably meet very similar people.
Well, yeah, exactly.
And then something will happen, most likely, on the way.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't, it doesn't. But at least you've done everything you wanted to do. You didn't
And you had a
sacrifice
great
your time.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. 100%.
So that's something to remember. With that.
Yeah.
The pressure's off, Lab.
The pressure's off.
The pressure's
just relax. Everyone relax.
Right.
Even if you're in a couple.
Oh, I would just relax.
Just relax.
We want to do a new little segment here.
We do.
At the end of our episodes. And it's called What's the Tea? And we're going to talk about some things that have been on our mind, or we've seen in the news, or we've seen other places. And we want to talk about some stuff today.
Yes.
So what's the tea, Mel?
Okay, so I've got a question for you.
Yes.
Okay, so I've just been in Europe.
Yeah.
In the sun. In a sunny place.
Yeah.
And it's quite normal in Europe. It's very normal. Women don't go topless on the beach. And it's not just like, young, amazingly beautiful people like you. It's like everyone. Like 70-year-old women will have the
titties out.
Baps out. Yeah. They won't, and they're not, even if they're not thin, they're not, they have the right to do it, and they do it. And that's my question to you. Do you think once you're sort of, let's say, over 40, you should still go topless if that's what you want to do?
Oh my God, go topless any time of day, any time of year.
Yeah.
Topless. Like, it's crazy to me that we are so wound up about this in North America.
To me, I just don't understand it.
Take your tits out.
If you're European, we don't understand it.
Do you do bottoms down?
There are naked beaches, or nudie beaches.
Nude
actually,
beaches.
near where I go in Spain, there is, and it's this amazing nature reserve. It's beautiful, and there's nudie beaches. I don't do that because I have like a top terrace which nobody can see, and I can just sunbathe naked.
God, that's nice.
So I don't really worry about that.
Can I ask you, do you go topless if you're on like a Barcelona beach?
Yeah, so that's interesting. I did. I don't really now.
Is it because you just got a lot going on with the tatas?
I've got a lot going on with my tatas. They're very big.
Great tatas, though. Let's just be in agreement here.
Thank you.
Excellent.
Thank you. They're very large. It's not very comfortable. And they, at my age, they do sort of swing about a bit below where they were before. But when I was younger, I did.
Right.
And I also don't to go into a huge amount of detail about my life, I don't do it because I have a place I can sunbathe with nobody can see me. So I don't need to go and sit on a beach and do it. But, and that is a huge privilege, but I do. But a lot, you will see women like grannies, and they'll be there with their little kids. And that's another thing in Spain, in France, in Italy, less so in England. Obviously, we don't have enough nice weather to be actually doing this. But you'll see like little girls when they're very young, they don't wear the top.
And it's
completely normal.
Yes.
Whereas you see little 4-year-old American girls with like this full swimsuit or bikini tops.
It's so ridiculous.
Which is very funny. You don't see that in Europe. And the other thing that's really interesting, especially in Spain, because all the beaches are public, and there's like a shower. You get from the beach. And where I go, which is in Tenerife, the beaches are all volcanic, so it's like black sand. So you need to shower when you leave the beach to get all the stuff off you. So they have showers. And, Europeans will just be in there, like, getting in the like, they just don't give a shit.
Yeah.
And they just don't go, or they'll take, they're wearing the top, they'll take it off in front of everyone. Like, nobody cares. Like, nobody cares at all because they don't have the hang-up. It's very different. Yeah.
It's so different. And like, I mean, I remember being in Barcelona top off, and I was like, this is because I had not experienced something like that before. And I was like, this is the best. And like, no one was weird about it.
No, nobody's staring at you.
Nobody's weird about it. No one's staring. Like, I grew up in like a place where it was like very hippie-esque. Like, I would go there in the summers with my family, and there was very much nudity there. But it's a different vibe. That's like hippies were trying to fucking prove something.
Yeah.
This is like the culture of this place. People enjoying themselves, letting their bodies show because no one actually cares.
No, it's just everyday people. Just that on the beach.
Yeah.
And some people do and some people don't. And especially when you're on a beach in Europe in the summer, there's, Germans, there's Brits, there's all sorts of European cultures, and they all sort of view it a bit differently.
Yeah.
But I definitely think, if you want to, go ahead. I mean, who cares? Nobody cares.
Yeah.
But the men, obviously, sorry, you don't get to take your trunks off.
No balls?
No balls. You have to go to the nudie beach. So if you want to get the lower bits
dicks
out. And the the fanny, the vaginas,
the fannies,
if you want to
get
it
fans,
out,
front bumps.
Exactly. You've got to go to the special beach for that.
Wow.
But this is the only place in life, if you think about it, where men have, I can take my top off. Like you get a bit more than the men. It's kind of funny.
That is exciting, actually.
Yeah. But I do find it funny, like you'll be on the beach, I'm going on about this a lot, but you'll be on the beach and you're not wearing a top, but you'll literally get off the beach. And a lot of places in Spain, you'll have like the beach and then you'll have sort of the sidewalk where you can walk, and then immediately you put your top on. It's just funny. It's like,
because it's like you're there.
You were there and now you're here.
It's the same thing as like putting a fucking shirt on or something in a grocery store if you've just came from like the beach. It's just like you want to cover up just in case someone gets offended that your tits are by the chips. Like it's very scary.
It's funny. But
I mean, I have a rooftop terrace, and I would love to go topless.
But can people see you?
Yes. Yeah. But that's the thing. I'm like, why is this such a big deal?
Well, I also think, and actually I don't know the legalities of that. I also think if it's your garden, like do what you want to do.
I'm really worried that people are going to like film me. Like that's actually what I'm worried about.
I think that is a problem they would. And I think the other thing is people complain and you're just like,
this is my fucking rooftop.
I mean, I think it's funny though, they probably wouldn't complain about you, but if you were like not so
some mean
older
biddies out there, and
you're just like, well, don't look then.
Yeah.
If you don't like it, don't look.
I've seen naked people across the street. They're not like tanning on their balconies, but
you do see a lot, like in Spain, like you see a lot, like my neighbor, he's an old Belgian man, and he often sunbathes in the nude. And so he can't sort of see me, but if I sort of go to the end, I can see him. So I just don't go where I can see him because I don't really want to see it. But by all means, you do you, Mr. whatever his name is. But why not? I mean, for God's sake, if you can't sunbathe on your own friggin' terrace.
Like, I'm sick of these. I have the stupidest tan lines you've ever seen in your life. And then you keep wearing a different top.
Yeah, wear a different top, and then you have to sort of move the thing up and down. That's what I always used to do.
Oh my God, it looks so dumb.
Whereas you don't have that issue.
Yeah, that's
in
goddamn
Europe.
nice.
So to go and live in Europe.
So anyways,
That's that question.
if you guys have any kind of experiences of affairs during the travel, if you had a bad experience with your partner during travel or anything like that, we'd love to hear from you.
I would really like to, and I hope it's not too sad. I know some things can really blow up on vacation.
Yes, you actually really understand what a person is like when you go.
Yeah, I think that's
on
true.
vacation.
I think that's true.
Always travel with someone first.
Yeah, before you marry them.
You do anything.
Or live with them.
Seriously.
Yeah, do.
Because then you know.
If their vibe doesn't match, like I've gone on vacation with friends, and I'm like, never again.
Oh, I know that. I know that feeling so well.
I mean, I know a couple of my friends who were like real schedule people, like, okay, so we're gonna get up and at 9 o'clock we're going to the museum. And I'm like, fuck off.
Fuck off.
I might go to the museum and I might not.
Yeah.
But that'll be the thing I'm doing today.
Yes.
There won't be the museum, the gondola ride, the seeing the whatevers and the like, no.
Yeah.
I'm not doing all of that.
Yeah, no, absolutely not. Like I understand there's a time crunch and you want to see a lot of things, but you also have to be on the same page as each other. Right?
Yeah, I'm not meeting you at 8. Are you out of your mind? No.
Having a nice cup of tea first.
I never do that. It's ridiculous. Anyway,
so we want to hear from you guys. If you guys have had these funny little stories happen during travel, we obviously want to know about them.
Yeah. Saucier the better.
The saucier the better.
I'm mimicking you.
I love it.
Anyway.
Okay, well, everyone, we love you so much. We'll talk to you soon.
We will.
Bye.
Thanks so much for listening. Please rate and review this podcast and follow us on social at Sharing My Truth Pod and leave us a voicemail on our website, sharingmytruth.com, to share your stories and experiences with us. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.